Good. I think I've managed to connect. Very good. I think I've managed to connect and I'm very happy. Um, Great. So I'm very excited that we are having this conversation today because this is something that we have been doing as an organization, Youth in Africa. We speak to youth. We have been speaking to youth in every country in Africa. And actually, I think Somaliland should be I think either the 48th country so far. We've had conversations with youth in all of these other countries, across the continent, just getting to understand what are the and opportunities of youth in your country, in Kenya, in Zimbabwe, in Eritrea, in South Africa, in Nigeria, in Egypt, in Somaliland. So I'm happy that we get to have this conversation now. Sarah Munyi is my name, and I'm the president Youth in Africa. I know today we have so many programs actually this Saturday, even here in Nairobi. I've just left one meeting for Youth in Africa. So I was ongoing here in Nairobi to just be here. But I know like our team here in Nairobi, they're very busy in a function. And Youth in Africa is a Pan-African organization. We focus on holistic development of youth across the continent. And we want to make sure that we equip youth with relevant skills that they need for them to be more independent, for them to be resourceful, and for them to be able to basically fend for themselves. That we want to make sure that every youth has a skill they can use to be able to fend for themselves. Because you know what happens in Africa? You go to school, you have a degree, you have a diploma, very good. And then this person comes for a job interview, and then you ask them, okay, papers aside, you have a first class, very good. Papers aside, what can you do? Which problem can you solve in the marketplace or in the society? Most of the time, they'll start mumbling, blabbering. They don't know. It can't point a finger on it because it's not there. So what we do as Youth in Africa is come in and fill this gap. The skills gap is a huge issue in Africa. What skill do you have that can solve a problem in the society? And so for us to even know how we do our programming for different countries, we usually have these conversations with youth in different countries. Yeah. With the youth in DRC, what are the challenges and opportunities, so that now when we are doing like our programs for a certain country, whether for Gabon or for whichever country, we know exactly what we are doing. We know exactly the program that the youth of that country need. So we're having this conversation as well. And I want to say I'm also very excited because we are also going to be next month, we are bringing a whole delegation of the business community, and also just, people who love, just contributing to society. They are change makers in the society, basically. So we are going to be having meetings, whether it is government meetings, business meetings, and also just impacting youth programs. So I'm excited that we're going to be doing that, and we're having this conversation now. So we also have some of our speakers here. I don't know if some of them have been able to come here, but maybe we can just start with you, Dr. Ahmed. Dr. Ahmed, it's such a pleasure for me to get to meet you. And perhaps you can just start for us. What do you think are some of the challenges and opportunities for youth in Somaliland? And then I think all of us here, we can just get to contribute and we can continue. Over to you, Dr. Idris.
Thank you so much, all of you, and good afternoon, all of you. My name is, in brief, is Ahmed Yusuf Idris.
Maybe you can have your video on. If you don't mind, please have your video on.
Yeah, I will. And hopefully you can see me right now, yeah?
There you are. You're in a car, yes.
Yeah, I'm in my car, yeah. I was traveling to my farm this afternoon. Sorry for that. Good afternoon, all of you. My name is Ahmed Yusuf Idris. My academic background is both agriculture and livestock, although I did last year master in One Health and Tropical Infectious Disease from Jigjiga University. I was working with a humanitarian sector for more than 13 years. But in 2023, late 2023, I shifted to politics and I became the Minister of MICT of Somaliland. I was 1 year, and last year, December, the new government arrived in mid-November, have been shifted everything, and new government arrived at that office. Currently, I'm independent consultant, and I have also I'm a farmer. Is in the earlier period of colonial period, it was under protectorate under British government, and we got independence in 1960, and we joined the South, colonized by Italian, and then after 31 years, we fought and we blew with 1991, and we declared regaining the independence. And we are until that time we are an independent country, but not get international recognition. But we have everything owned by government, like sovereignty. We have flag, we have money, we have everything. Somaliland is very peaceful. So the population of Somaliland is around 6.2 million, and 75% is youth. That is very potential. 75% of the total population of Somaliland is youth. Furthermore, the youth of Somaliland, we have universities, we have graduates, but we are lacking skills, as you mentioned it. There's no TEFED schools, there is no uh, other technological schools in Somaliland countries, but we have a lot of opportunities. We have the biggest port in the Horn of Africa, call it Berbera Port. It's under DP Wall, Dubai Port Wall. It's managed by Dubai DP Wall. We give the service to Ethiopia, part of South Somalia and Somaliland, and we are also Somaliland. It's located this suitable place that connects us to the Gulf countries, and we are exporting every year more than 4 million heads of livestock, sheep, goat, camel, and cattle to the Gulf countries, including in Emirates, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Kuwait, and Egypt. And we get a lot, we generate a lot of profit from that perspective. And we have the longest Red Sea starting from Audal up to the Sanag. It's 860 kilometers of coastal in the Red Sea. We have when it comes to livestock and crop contributes 75% of the GDP of Somaliland, and they are the sectorial that creates the value chain to whole Somaliland, and we are not utilizing properly when it comes to fishery sector. But these days, the previously we have our communities are pastoral communities, and they were getting fresh meat every morning, and they were not utilizing the fishery sector in the coastal of Somaliland. But now these days, there is a paradigm, there's a shifting from pure pastoral to agro-pastoral and fishery communities due to recurrent droughts in the countries of Somaliland. Even at this year, the rains was erratic, and it looked like this coming dry season will be a drought period. And so we are expecting maybe mid-season is more rains. If no rains, it will be drought time, and it will be challenging to Somaliland countries. Come back to the youth. You have around 32 universities in Somaliland, include private universities and government-owned universities. Every year they produce so many graduates, but market opportunities are limited because each one are looking for white-collar job, and job opportunities are limited because we are not recognized. The private companies are limited. They cannot collect all graduates. But the main important thing that Somaliland youth needs is skill development. TVET schools, because if you look at the market opportunities, we are under construction. There is so many construction projects ongoing in Somaliland. Most of the people who are working in this sector are either from Kenya, from Bangladesh, from India, and from other countries in like Ethiopians. So we are lacking that skill as well. And on top of that, technology is an amazing sector in Somalia or in the Horn of Africa or in Africa. And there is a lot of digital economy economy grown up in these days. But we don't have technological schools. Those Somalis are very good in technology, but there is no robotic institute. There is no technological institute. Though the institution of MICT owned by a small Somali Innovative Zone call it, and we give some previously we were given some trainings to the government institutions and IDP communities. It's like fundamentals of ICT, cybersecurity, in multimedia, in design and graphics, something like that. It's very basic one. And that project is supported by Taiwan because Taiwan are supporting in Somaliland, and there is a strong presence of Taiwan government in Somaliland. So there is a lot of opportunity in Somaliland when it comes to crop, when it comes to livestock, when it comes to technology, and also digital economy. But there is a technical know-how, insufficient technical know-how in terms of skills. Furthermore, we have another challenge is English language barrier because in our schools English is not much efficiency. So though these days there are some private schools like Young Muslim Academy, Abarso Tech, Faro Foundation schools. They have very good in terms of have competency-based curriculum like Kenya. And they are using Kenyan curriculum or British curriculum and American curriculum. That schools are very good, but it's expensive. Each one and each household cannot afford because per month per student it may be $100+. So the poor people, majority of those of Somalilanders cannot afford. Better off and diaspora can afford, but the rest they cannot afford. So we have one of the key challenges we have is English language. The second challenge is a technical know-how of skill development because of opportunities lacking in Somaliland. Youth are, like machinery and electricity, IT, basic ITs, and also the language barrier, and also painting and decorations, interior decor. All that opportunities are done are existing in Somaliland, but the youth are lacking that skills, and most of the people who are working this sector are either Kenyans, Bangladesh, Indians, and other Asian countries. So this is a good opportunity in Somaliland. And when it comes to in agriculture sector, there is very potential sector. 65% of Somaliland population are agro-pastoral and beef pastorals. They rear sheep and goat and camel and cattle in some areas, in some pockets. And we are lacking when it comes to input supply, like drugs, veterinary drugs, animal feed, like other fertilizers when it comes to agriculture, and also the seeds. Seeds are imported from India, from Egypt, from Kenya and Ethiopia. And most of the seeds which is relevant to our context are imported from Kenya. And there is so many brands in seeds and pesticides, and also in hand tools imported from Kenya. So there is a good opportunity in Somaliland uh, from the in Kenyan perspective because of the products produced by Kenyan companies. And even chuko for cooking. Also, it's available in Somaliland. And some country based in here already have pharmacies from that company, and they import it in Somaliland. There's a huge market when it comes to chuko in improved stuffs in Somaliland. So you will see a lot of products from produced in Kenyan context. So here, Somaliland, there is so many opportunities when it comes to youth and also the business opportunities. And Somaliland is a very peaceful country. Furthermore, one of the unfortunately we are lucky. We don't have international recognition, and youths they are not aware of the opportunities existing in the region and international as well. We are lacking networks and links to get connections from other youth associations, other grants, other opportunities when it comes to scholarship, when it comes to training opportunities, when it comes to the conference meetings, and that youth can present their challenges and strengths and weaknesses opportunities in Somaliland context. So if there is any questions, any clarification, let me know. Over to you guys.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Idris. That was really, you really painted a very good picture of Somaliland. Thank you for starting with that. I want to welcome Mohammed from Hargeisa Debates. Mohammed Abdi Ahmed, you're also welcome. Dr. Idris, you have started by giving us history, just a short history of Somaliland, and you've told us, I mean, I think you have a population of about 7 million. Wow. You know, in Kenya, that is like one of the, I think that's about two of our counties, or yeah, about two of our counties. Okay. And yes, and you have also mentioned, you know, some of the strength, really what contributes to the biggest percentage of GDP. Is, I think, the animals, the livestock, is it the livestock? Is what really contributes to the largest part of the GDP in Somaliland.
Yeah, livestock. When it comes to GDP of Somaliland, it's 65% of the GDP of Somaliland, and it's the biggest income generation sector for Somalilanders.
Yes, and so thank you for painting that picture. And then you have said, one of the things you have said as one of the challenges of youth in Somaliland, you have mentioned that there is a skills gap, and that is why you're finding that there are so many Kenyans, so many expatriates, so many foreigners who come, and especially in the education sector, who come in, you know, they're the ones, like, we have to really, you know, import expertise, because we are having the skills gap. And this is exactly why we focus on skills development. I'm really excited at the prospects of coming to Somaliland, really, because we really want to explore that, really want to explore that. And you've also mentioned that one of the issues that, of course, is the English language. I mean, this when now people are really getting to learn, you know, the language, because it's like a language of trade, really, across the continent and across the world. And you have mentioned even some of the products. I mean, some of the products that come from Kenya. I mean, I think I'm seeing a lot of opportunities, and especially in manufacturing. And in manufacturing, processing, you need the hard skills. You really need the hard skills. One of the things we do at Youth in Africa, and we have done this successfully in many countries, we have helped very many youth be able to start their own businesses in the cottage industry. That is, they can be able to produce, whether it is soap, we help them. We buy for them all the products they need for them to be able to, and we teach them how to make soap, how do you make bleach, you know, some of these, and detergents also, all-purpose detergents, things like that. And today we have youth who are doing very well, just producing soap and selling, you know. Some have even started selling to other countries, their products to other countries. You see, that is production, that is manufacturing, and that is production. Really, that's what we want. And so I'm really excited at the prospect of really just engaging with Somaliland's youth, because we need to speak manufacturing so that we don't export everything. Coffee from Ethiopia. I don't know what tea, maybe from Kenya. Everything from other countries.
Yeah, very good. Yeah. 98% of goods imported from Somaliland, imported from other countries. And the hard currency going to other countries every month, every week, to China, to India, to Kenya, to Ethiopia. And there is no substitute apart from the livestock we are exporting to Gulf countries. So there is a good opportunity in Somaliland countries. And I forgot one challenge. There is maybe some entrepreneurs in Somaliland countries, but they are lacking the startup or capital injection. So even that one, we can look for opportunities to link into other associations in the global perspective or in the region. Yeah.
You're right. You know, when you speak of, I want to invite you, Abdi. But before I do that, I also want to mention that I do understand, I mean, the state, because it's like Somaliland has not yet been recognized maybe by the United Nations. So, because there are so many opportunities for youth, you know, globally, so many opportunities. But you see, maybe when maybe the Somaliland youth may not be aware because maybe the country is not recognized. I do understand that because there's so much that goes on, in terms of youth programming by international organizations. And even for us as youth in Africa, actually people are asking us, Somalia, is that not Somalia? Even when we were sending these posters, people are saying, because we were telling people Somaliland is safe. They're saying, what do you mean safe? Somalia. No, we say, please check again. This is not Somalia. This is Somaliland. It is very safe. We have to tell people again because it's like they're not aware there's a country called Somaliland. So definitely the youth of Somalia may miss out on a lot of youth programming, programs for youth across the continent. And
Yeah.
that's why
Hello? Sarah? Hello? Sarah?
please go ahead.
Yeah. The connection is lost. Can you repeat that one? The last sentence. You said there is a lot of opportunity in the region, and Somalia is not appeal
Yes,
from
yes,
that meeting and that conference, and it's because of
yes,
we are lacking the networks. Even in Somaliland, youth are getting scholarships, undergrad scholarship from MIT University, Hartford, Oxford, and Yale, and in US, and they are traveling Somaliland passport. We have indirect recognition from US, from Emirates, from Ethiopia, and from other countries. So, and even we are traveling to the Somaliland passport, but it's not
yeah,
officially recognized in global perspective. Even when I was traveling to Kenya, I was using Somaliland passport, diplomatic passport, and I was getting entry visa from Kenya. So but we are lacking the network because we don't have
yeah,
internationally recognition. So we are lacking that opportunity. Even you just mentioned that Pan-Africanism scholarship. Some Somalilanders got scholarship in Nigeria, in Cameroon, and other West African countries under the Pan-Africanism scholarship. So, but we are lacking that opportunity. If we get that opportunity, we can apply, we can utilize and maximize the utilization of that opportunity. So, and we need your advocacy to
yeah,
advocate the youth of Somaliland. Apart from political perspectives, we are looking for opportunities. We have to create the opportunities, the youth of the country in Somaliland. Yeah.
you're right. Thank you very much for that input.
Okay.
Now let me invite Mohammed Abdi Ahmed. He's our other speaker. Mohammed, I know you had sent me your presentation. I don't know if you'll be able to project. You let me know if you're able to project. You can just unmute. Mohammed is the director of Bakawo Organization for Climate Change. I know he's very passionate about climate change. So over to you, Abdi. There you are. There you are. I can see you.
Sorry for delay.
There you are.
I am talking about Somaliland unlocking the potential youth Somalia. Why? Because it's the backbone of economic and social development. Future leaders, entrepreneurs, researchers, barriers. You hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Barriers to youth potential, unemployment, lack of skills, weak economic, weak education system, limited access and finance and technology, social pressure and migration. Key areas to unlock potential: education quality, practical learning. Deep solution: curriculum focused 21st century skills, encourage critical thinking, creativity and ICT, innovation and research, entrepreneurship and employment, microfinances, support of the young entrepreneurs, youth participation leadership, establish youth councils, local and national levels, include youth voices in government and policy making, role of stakeholders, government, policy, funding, and inclusive planning, NGO training, environment, private sectors, internships, job creation, diaspora investment, mentorship, partnerships, certain case studies, young entrepreneur from Hargeisa using to solve local problems. Use research improving farming in rural area. I finished. Thank you. Yes, I finished.
Hello?
Yes, do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, I finished.
Oh, you are finished. Oh my God. Okay, to be honest, Abdi, I was trying to hear. I was really trying to hear. I was really trying to hear you. But I know you sent me your presentation and you were telling me one of the things. Just looking at your presentation, because you had already sent me, you were saying that one of the things, barriers to youth potential, number one, you are speaking of the unemployment and lack of job skills. You are speaking of a weak education system. You know what? This has been a problem across Africa because our education systems here in Africa, mostly, they have been designed to churn or to produce workers, not creators. Let me know if I'm audible. Let me know that. Let me know you can hear me. Am I audible?
Yes, I hear you. Yes.
Okay, I'm audible. Okay, very good. Yes, because our education systems, as you say, Abdi, have been created to produce workers and not really creators, not entrepreneurs, not creators. And you'll find
Yes.
even those who end up doing business, most of the time you don't learn it in school. You are not going to learn it from a college there. You're not going to learn it from a university. You learn it from maybe somebody who is in business already. They have learned to do business through, making mistakes. They make mistakes, they learn from it. And, so I know we are there. Some of our education systems are changing. For example, here in Kenya, we have just changed our education system. We've changed the curriculum that we have been using to one that we are calling competency-based curriculum, where now we focus more on skills other than just giving people knowledge that is not really that cannot solve any problem. So you're
Yes.
very right when you say that. And of course, the other thing you are speaking about is limited access to finance and technology. I know, that's a problem. Marginalization in policy and leadership. So I don't know up to what extent youth in Somaliland, maybe those of us who are here, even you, Abdurazak, you're here, Balogun, I don't know if your name looks very West African. Your
Can I
name looks very
contribute?
Nigerian, but
Sarah,
yeah, please go ahead. You wanna come
okay.
in, please?
Yeah, can I contribute at some points? Can I highlight?
Yeah. Yes, please.
When it comes to Somaliland, for the last governments, the one I was member of them, and then new government is just at the moment, which is heading the country for the last 8 to 9 months. 65% of the nominated DGs and ministers are youth. So youth are not marginalized. but we have very challenged political system of clanism, clans. We have that perspective. When it comes to education of Somaliland, it's very good compared to other countries in the region, compared to Ethiopia, but not Kenya. We cannot reach in Kenya. Kenya, they put a lot of budget in terms of education, and their curriculum is a competency-based curriculum. And when the curriculum become competency-based curriculum and emphasizing early childhood ECE, early childhood education, it needs a lot of resources. We don't have that resource in Somaliland, but we have model schools like Faro schools, Abarso Tech schools, funded by Americans, and also in Young Muslim Academy, and also Amana boarding schools. That one, it's very expensive, better of can avoid, but the curriculum is a very competence, and they are getting scholarships from African graduate scholarships from America, either MIT, Hartford, Yale, Oxford, Cambridge, in Tokyo University. I was in Japan and I met 6 guys from Abarsa Tech in Somaliland studying in Tokyo University, and they were highly competency respective guys. They got history every year. So yes, we are lucky
I think I'm
in
losing you.
government
Can you hear
schools.
Dr.
Such
Idris?
Is he losing or is
opportunity.
that connected? Poor connection.
Dr. Idris,
We
we're losing him.
are zero
No, we are losing you. We can't hear you well now.
in
Somaliland is the Muslim country.
so
We can't hear you.
the challenge we have
I cannot hear you.
already mentioned.
There is error connection.
I don't know if Dr. Idris, can you hear me? But we lost you. I don't know. I think he has some network issues. I think he will come back. He will come back. But I like he was explaining. I think he was just explaining your point, Abdi, and he was speaking about youth participation in policy, governance, and all that. And I think that that's a good thing. But I also wanted Dr. Ahmed. Can you hear me now? Maybe you can try and speak. We see if we can get you. You can just try and speak. We see if we can get you.
The guest
Otherwise, I can. Yeah.
You want to speak the guest yes? Can I speak?
Yeah, please go ahead, General Ahmed.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, and one of the key challenges I mentioned already, we are lacking at TFED schools, technical vocational schools. Maybe TFED agriculture, one of the biggest booming market in Somaliland is drip irrigation. When it comes to agriculture, is drip irrigation and greenhouse. And we are lacking a technocrat who can install small drip irrigation systems, and also sprinkler irrigation and greenhouse. Biogas also is a booming opportunity, because this energy is every household needs every day, and biogas is a good opportunity. While we are a livestock country, we are producing a lot of biomass every day, and there's opportunity. So, and none of Somalilanders are not using biogas. So it's a booming opportunity, the skills in Somalia, and there's no model schools in Somaliland. I already mentioned it when it comes to machinery, in painting, decoration, electricity. There is a lot of expatriates working in Somaliland, and they're making a lot of money. And that money goes to another country. It contributes to the revenue of another country. They transfer, they do a remittance. Like there's so many Kenyans, around 2,000 Kenyans are working in Hargeisa currently. In education sector, in machinery, in INGO, in telecommunication, in infrastructure. So there is a lot of booming opportunities in Somaliland countries in terms of skill development. Apart from the knowledge, there is a need for that. So we need to focus that one. The opportunities are here because, and when it comes to agriculture production, crop, we are lacking. Crops are imported from either from Ethiopia, from Yemen, from garlic. The simple example. The garlic is imported from China. Onion is imported from Yemen. Tomato, mainly 65% is imported from Ethiopia. Banana is either imported from Somalia or from Ethiopia. Other cash crops are imported from Ethiopia. We are consumers and we have a fertile land, but we are lacking the technical know-how. So I mentioned already, we're pastoralists. And due to that last 1 decade, we are shifting to agro-pastoral. And if the household was pure pastoral and shifted to agro-pastoral, it needs a skill development in terms of crop planting and all that things. And it needs also input supply, like seeds, hand tools, and others. So we are lacking that opportunity. There is so many opportunities. And earlier you mentioned it, value addition and processing. For example, in like rainy season, there is an influx of production of tomato. And the prices of tomato goes down because the market becomes saturated and there is no processing plant in into tomato base. So there is an opportunity as such, either for drying tomato to use in dry season or processing tomato in tomato base. It's one simple parameter. On top of that, we have around 32 heads of livestock, and there is a huge many constituents imported from Saudi Arabia, from other countries, and there is a need to improve the local production of our livestock to reduce the importation of many constituents from other countries. So there's a lot of opportunity in Somaliland, but we are lacking technical know-how. There's a need for that. And you have mentioned as well the opportunity in the region, either for trainings, for scholarships, for conference, for other networking, we are lacking. So you and your team, we are highly demanding, highly requesting you to advocate the, to youth of Somaliland to attend such meaningful trainings and conference. That's a message from my perspective. And upon your arrival next month to Somaliland, you will meet a lot of youth associations, you will meet government institutions, you will meet universities, and you will see a lot of pride students in Somaliland that needs to be removing the cataract, cataract of the eyes, meaning that they need small trainings, small sharpening skills, how to write CVs, how to do networking, how to lead, how to attend conference, how to conduct public speaks, how to do that. They need that one. And also there is a booming opportunity in e-commerce in Somalia. And Somalis, they are very tough. You can see if you are based in Nairobi, if you visit to the next door of Isli, you will see a lot of Somalis who are good in business. We are good in business. So we need your advocacy to Somaliland. And the era of 1960s, 70s, Somalis who were in Kenya are originally from Somaliland. They were working with the British. South were Italian, and they were not coming to Kenya, but from the north were under protector of British, and they were traveling to Kenya. If you go to Turkana, if you go to Isiolo, if you go to Kamakuchu, people originally are from Somaliland. So we need your advocacy, we need your support, we need your guidance. Here Somalia is very peaceful. You can walk in the middle of the night. It's a highly secure country. So over to you, and that was my contribution from my perspective.
Thank you
Over
so
to you,
much.
Sarah.
Thank you, Dr. Thank you. Thank you very much. Dr. General Ahmed, you are asking what is the point of the well, we are speaking about the challenges and opportunities for youth in Somaliland. So please feel free to jump in, feel free to contribute. If you're in Somaliland, tell us from your point of view, what are the challenges and what do you think are the opportunities for youth in Somaliland? Now, let me say this. Whatever you look at as a challenge, trust me, is the opportunity, because Dr. Idrissa just said we have the skills gap. That is why we have a consumer economy. And the way we transform a consumer economy into a creator, producer kind of economy, really, there are two things. Number one, the skills. We need the skills. Now, that's the opportunity. The skills and exposure. Skills, exposure. Because I remember I was having a conversation with Dr. Idris some time back, and he was telling me that Somaliland is largely arid and semi-arid. It's arid and semi-arid. That is why a lot of what happens is maybe it's just pastoral kind of, just the animals. We keep the animals. Well, yes, there is some subsistence farming, but it's not much. And I was just thinking about how has Israel, because Israel also has the same kind of a climate, how has Israel managed to be an agricultural, king? They do very well in agriculture, but they're in a very arid and semi-arid kind of, place. Yeah. So I think that, and even in Kenya, I mean, we also have arid and semi-arid areas, which are also doing very well in terms of agriculture. I think there's a lot that there are a lot of programs that we can really exchange and we can learn from each other. And that's why I'm excited to also bring, as we come next month, we'll be having people who are interested. They are doing agriculture big time. And we can be, we see what can come out of these engagements. So I'm really looking forward to that trip. And let me also say that I totally admire Somalis. I totally admire, because if you go to Eastleigh, those of you who have been here in Kenya, it's like Eastleigh belongs to Somalis, because you have a very, very good business acumen. You're very smart. When it comes to business, we admire that. Totally admire that. Very enterprising people. And I'd want to learn that. I really want to learn that from you. So maybe we can. So I think I had looked at some of the things that you had raised, Abdi. Maybe we can go to General Ahmed. You are asking, what's the point? From your point of view, what are some of the challenges and opportunities? Over to you, sir. And then we can come to you, Ahmed Askari. And then I think we can continue.
Okay, I think everybody hear me.
I can hear you.
Thank you very much. I would like to thank Dr. Ahmed. He's my former friend. First of all, what is the challenge? It's not only for education, it's not only for skills, even to be in African is the challenge. Because when it comes to the youth in the developed countries, they motivate their young people, they show them the right way, they guidelines, all these things. But when it comes to in Africa, especially in Somaliland, whatever you want, you should have to do. You should have to take the responsibility of your education. You should have to take the responsibility of searching a jobs or opportunities. You should have to take everything. No one guides you. No one shows you how to do. Because we know that no one is perfect, and something is missing for me, and something is missing for you. But the challenge is that. Secondly, I'm an agribusiness student. I know a lot of things in agriculture, but what is the challenge also is even the education system, because almost it is a theory. There's no practicals. We request the teachers to show practical. Even to study this faculty, I moved to my city from Hargeisa to Boroma, from Hargeisa to Amud University. So you see that I'm interested to make a lot of things, but the challenge is even the people, they are not aware how important for the skills and the practical things when it's studied. I'm from Fara School and I'm now from Amud. So I almost travel my education, but the system is the challenge. The system is only theory. The teacher will tell you information, but no practical. And when I was graduated, the only question I'm asking myself is what's next? Because I don't know what's next. That's all what I'm telling you now. Inshallah, I will listen. Thank you.
Wow, thank you. Thank you, General Ahmed. I appreciate. And
General is a nickname, so forget Abdrazak. You can take Abdrazak. General is just a nickname. I make my Google. That's why you see always General.
Okay, no problem. No problem. Thank you very much. I'm coming to you, Mubarak. Yeah, you spoke of the education system. Yeah, it's just theory. Let me tell you, that's been the problem really that we have. A lot of theory that, for example, let me give you just one example. We are taught, I learned entrepreneurship in school, in university. Yeah, I learned entrepreneurship. We have, I mean, every business course, whether it's a diploma, whether it's a certificate, whether it is a degree, you will have an entrepreneurship, a business kind of a subject. Now, if you follow, let me tell you, there's no way, there's no part of all of that theory that can help you start a business. There's no part. And even if you started a business, maybe you started selling shoes or you're selling fabrics, whatever it is you're selling, you go back to your lecturer in college and ask them, oh, I'm stuck. What do I do here? They can't help. Well, they are not entrepreneurs. Huh? Even then, they have read books. It can't work. So I totally agree with you. And that's why we must really change that. I'm glad in Kenya we are doing it. And many other African countries are now waking up really to that and changing the educational systems, because they came from our colonizers, really. They came from our colonizers. They really didn't serve as well. So that's really a problem. And I pray that I'm really hoping that even as we start our programs, we'll first of all have the engagements. What are the skills gap? Dr. Idris, you mentioned some of the skills. Some of the very soft skills you need. First, working. How do you even do your CV? Because one of the things I do, because I have to, I'm an entrepreneur as well. I'm the president within Africa, but I'm an entrepreneur. I own 3 businesses. And I do recruitments for myself. I do recruitments for other companies. And I see people come to an interview. You have a degree, Ahmed. You have a degree. You have a first-class degree. And but you can't express yourself. You don't even have confidence. Simple skills, life skills like confidence, bravely, to be brave and to express yourself. What can you do? What are you good at? It can't come out. Yet we were thinking, because of your CV, you are the right candidate maybe for this position. So I have to watch many young people, very, very learned. Somebody even has a master's, but they can't express themselves and they've just lost the opportunity. We thought they were the ones. And it really hurts me. It really hurts me. I really feel, but just because somebody could not express themselves. So even negotiation skills, sometimes we are negotiating salary. Somebody cannot negotiate. They can't negotiate. You don't even know the difference between gross salary and net salaries. So as we interview people, you hear somebody say, okay, do you want, maybe it's $100,000 or maybe it is $500. Do you want net or gross? Somebody says gross because they don't know even what, even the difference. Even some of these soft skills will be very important in complementing the hard skills we have learned. So I think that's very important. I think over to you. Was it Mubarak? Yes, Mubarak. Over to you.
Hi guys, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. I just had a real quick question for you, Sarah. So I think I heard you in the beginning of the conversation. You said you went to 48 countries around Africa, discussing the same issues as youth, that the youth challenges and so on. So could you tell me about, right now, I think everybody sort of spoke about the challenges, and I don't want to go back to that. But soft skills versus hard skills, which one has been more detrimental in making changes for the youth, helping them improve in the business sector, helping them earn income? Which one was better emphasized? Or let's say the strategies that have been sort of used to help youth in other countries that you can speak of. Am I clear on that? Did you hear me?
Could you please repeat? Could you please repeat your question? Just repeat the question, Mubarak.
Can you hear me clearly now? Is it my voice much better or still?
Yes, now it's much better.
I just had a quick question where I think early on during the conversation, you said you went to 48 other African countries where you were discussing similar issues that you were trying to present here in Somaliland. So I just wanted to understand a little bit of the strategies that were used in other countries that you found to be extremely successful. I think everybody already spoke about the challenges in terms of skills, in terms of culture, or so on. But what have been some of the successful strategies that you've been seeing implemented in countries similar to Somalia that youth have used to sort of change their situation? That was just my question, Sarah.
Thank you for that question. You know, we are staying with the challenges because the challenges are the opportunities. Really, the opportunities in the challenge. So if I can bring my expertise to fill in this gap of the skills gap or any other problem we have, then right there, a transaction will take place in that business. That's why we are staying with the challenges. And now I've seen there are different challenges. There are those that are there are those challenges. For example, skills gap is a problem across the continent, but there are other issues, other problems that are just specific to regions. Now, one is that we are very organized. As youth in Africa, we are very organized, and we usually have a secretariat in all of these countries. So when we have this kind of a conversation and we realize, so the problem for Somaliland, this is the key problem for Somaliland. So we start, we partner with universities, we partner with TVETs as well. That's the other thing. And of course, we also have our own expertise in different areas. We also have our own expertise. So, for example, I was just giving an example of the cottage industry. So we go to a region and we find youth and we tell them, okay, we have, if you learn to make soap, you will not sleep hungry. And this is how you get the products. This is how you get whatever you need to make soap, this is how you get them. And this is what you need to do for you to make soap. So we usually target like a small number, maybe 100 in a region, 100 in a region like that. That's a very, very manageable kind of number. And we train them. We usually have programs. We are not interested in the hit and run kind of programs, you know, unless it's maybe we need to have a talk about leadership. We need to have a talk about branding. But when it comes to skills, really building the hard skills, maybe it is web development, website development, graphics design, because we also teach those soft skills. We usually have cohorts that will go for a whole 6 months. Yeah, man. If we are teaching youth how to make websites, how to do graphic design, you will have to subscribe. As a youth, you'll have to subscribe into a program, and you subscribe to stay. That for the next 3 months, I will commit maybe 4 hours a week to learn. And of course, you have to do your work, and we have to actually, we have our trainers that are checking you. So we do programs because some of these skills take time. They take time to build. So it will have to be a program of 4 months, 3 months, 6 months. Some programs go all the way to 8 months. And by the end of those 8 months, you will have somebody with the hard skills they can use, because we have also taught you how now do you launch out your small business of graphic design. We teach you even the business aspect of it, and we launch you, we make sure you are good to go. So it is programs, not hit and run kind of activities. The other thing is that we have also learned to partner with communities. For example, we can partner with a mosque maybe in a certain area, because they have the youth, those community kind of, you know, setups. We partner with them and we train their youth, because then it's easy for them to mobilize, you know. So we also do a lot of partnerships as well, and we are looking for that, by the way, even in Somaliland. So I think those are the two ways I have seen partnerships with local organizations, and of course having youth in programs where they actually learn. And those who drop out, by the way, we just if you really drop out, you don't attend class 3 times, if you don't attend class 3 times, that's it. We just let you go because we don't think you really need it.
No, that was a perfect answer. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it.
Fantastic. Ahmed Askar. Ahmed Askar, you have an input, let me know.
Hello there, hi there.
Yes, please go ahead.
Firstly, let me just introduce myself. My name is Ahmed Askar. I work with Hagate Debates. We're basically a platform for for youth, women, basically anyone looking to voice their concerns or their issues regarding Somaliland. So we've been hosting a lot of type of events over the past year or so, mainly about, for example, the election just recently happened a few months ago. So we hosted an event regarding that. Hopefully, we plan to do another event sometime in the upcoming months for the diaspora community, and we're also looking to put some light on climate change as well, because that is a serious issue. As Ahmed mentioned earlier on, we've been going through severe droughts recently. And then Somaliland is one of those countries we don't actually produce a lot of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, but we're one of the countries that suffer the most from it. So that is a subject that we're highlighting and looking to focus on that and looking to create forums and that, even workshops, looking to work with a lot of different type of stakeholders for based around that. Yep. And that's all I have to say as of right now. Thank you.
Okay, you know what, Ahmed, to be honest, I don't know whether it's where the place I am that's a bit noisy, but I have struggled. I have actually struggled to listen. I have struggled to listen. Okay, but thank you so much for your contribution. And I'm glad we are live streaming this on YouTube. So I'm gonna share it. If you check our page on Facebook, Youth in Africa, you will see the recording. But I don't think I got you very well. I don't know if you can repeat. Do you mind repeating? Askar, do you mind repeating? I really didn't get you very well, but
Okay, no problem. Let me try to speak directly to the microphone, so hopefully everyone can hear me. So we are basically a think tank platform based in Hargeisa, and helping basically voice and be the voice of different type of communities, not just the youth, but women empowerment as well, different type of stakeholders, etc. We're looking to focus on things like climate change. In the next couple of months, we're hosting a forum for Somaliland banks. We're hosting a forum for diaspora. So basically just a platform within the community, helping people voice their concerns and give them a space where they don't feel like if they say anything, they will be targeted or anything like that. So yeah. So I just want to quickly ask you, what are your plans for Somaliland? Because as I see, you are coming in the next month or so. What is your plan for the upcoming event you're planning to host in Somaliland?
I perfectly got you. Thank you very much. And oh, that's a good thing that you are doing, really giving a platform for people to basically showcase what they have or even just share ideas. That's very good. And I'll be very happy. I'm very happy to partner with you. Now, our coming to Somaliland, it's for two things. Number one, we want to explore the opportunities that are there for business, and I mean, I've seen very many opportunities, even by what I've had so far. So we are bringing a delegation. We are coming with a delegation of entrepreneurs, business people who are in different sectors: mining, education, agriculture. To just explore what can we exchange? What can we learn from you? What can you learn from us? What can we exchange? Can we do business? We have those kind of engagements too. We want to have engagement with the business community as well, with the corporate sector as well. I know we'll be visiting, some of the main companies there, like the Coca-Cola complex there. And then, of course, the other thing which is very important is the community engagements, basically just engaging students, youth empowerment programs. We're going to be doing that in universities and in high schools, just basically speaking to them and teaching them some of these skills. For example, the networking skills, leadership skills, some of these skills, because at this point, that's what we can do before we can be able to, as Youth in Africa, do a program, start doing programs in Somaliland. So we are basically coming to explore those kind of synergies. We'll be very happy to meet with you and just to see the opportunities. Tourism, I'm in tourism sector. One of my companies is really a tourism company, and I'd want to showcase Somaliland. I want to go to Berbera. I want to see the port, you know. So we basically want to explore Somaliland. What can we get? What can we learn from Somaliland? What can we bring into Somaliland? Basically, we grow like that. So that's why we're coming to the country, and I'm very excited about that.
Nah, thank you for that. Thank you for that. Hopefully, when you do come to Somaliland, you will be enlightened by the potential and the possibilities will be endless, because it practically is. For example, from the top of my head, I could even think of something like aloe vera. It's underutilized in the region, but there's aloe vera growing every single part of Somaliland. um, Things like that. Even for example, seaweed, for example, it's underutilized and nobody knows what seaweed is, but there's got a mass potential. As you know, in Tanzania, they do a lot of seaweed farming out there. Um, what else is there? As Ahmed was mentioned earlier on, something about farming in drip irrigation. All of that could be so much potential, but it's just a matter of gaining the youth to actually focus on those kind of things and having the investors behind them backing the youth. It's because right now a lot of the businessmen out here they'll rather invest in other countries rather than in the motherland because they might not see it as more profitable or something along those lines. So thank you for that, and hopefully when you do come here with your whole delegate, we'll be happy to host you. Might even possibly do a forum, for example, with just the community as well. Some open kind of stage where anyone can answer questions or ask questions, etc. So I look forward to meeting you when you do come to Somaliland, inshallah, and we'll hopefully see you.
Thank you, sir. That's very kind of you. I really appreciate that, and I look forward to that. And I also want to say, Aminat Balogun, before I even continue, Aminat Balogun, perhaps you can unmute and say something. I was telling you, your name looks very Nigerian or West African. Let me know if you're in a position to unmute and speak. Okay, as you do that.
Oh, good
I also,
afternoon.
good afternoon. Yes, go ahead.
Hello. Well done.
Please
It has
hear
been a
you very well.
wonderful session. I'm from Nigeria anyway. I'm speaking from Nigeria and I've been enjoying the program so far. Thank you for the opportunity. I've really learned. So in our own country here, curriculum has not been that fair too. Curriculum is just based on mathematics, English, and the likes. So the vocational aspect is not being incorporated. So we do hope by next academic year we put some of this into practice.
I'm not sure I can hear you.
Hello?
Hello?
No? Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, very well now, very well.
I said I'm from Nigeria.
Yes, yes.
So, and I've been listening to the program, so I've been learning a lot of it from it. I've been learning. So it has been a problem, the curriculum of the thing that we are using has not been inculcating all these skills that the children have to learn.
Oh, okay. I lost you, but I think I heard. Thank you for your contribution, Aminata. You know what, Aminata? Gonna be in Somaliland next month. I invite you. You can come. You can attend from wherever you are. So, and I also want to say this. Next week, I think it will be next Saturday. We will be having another session for Somaliland, but now this one is not just for youth, but it's just for everyone to just get to understand what are the business opportunities that people can explore. Because, and I especially want for the community, the Kenyan community, and many other people who have shown interest with Somaliland for their trip, for them to first of all understand what do you expect to find. So be having all of those who are interested in Somaliland be attending. So we have another session. I don't know if we have contacts of all of you. I don't know, maybe I can give my contact here, my WhatsApp number, so that I'm going to send you the poster. But we're going to be having a conversation, not just as youth, but everybody. What are the opportunities you can find in for business you will find in Somaliland? We're going to be having that. The last thing I want to say is that we'll be having a conference. Youth in Africa hosts an yearly conference. And it is a huge conference, and every November. So this year we're going to be in the Republic of Comoros. Yeah, yeah, we're gonna be in the Republic of Comoros. Can you hear me now, Dr. Idris? Okay, let me share my number here. There it is. That's my WhatsApp. But I'm saying we're going to be having a conference for youth this November in Comoros. Comoros is an island country very near Tanzania. Like, I think from Dar es Salaam, you fly for about 2 hours to the Indian Ocean to the Comoros. And I'm going to be sharing the details because I know it presents a very good. We are being hosted by the Parliament of Comoros. We're going to be at the Parliament buildings of Comoros, and it's going to be an amazing platform. So that's what we are planning for. I mean, our whole global team is planning for that conference, and really want to invite you. I'm going to be sharing the poster for it because posters are already out, but would be a very, very good platform even for exposure of the opportunities that we have for you. So thank you very much for joining. Abdirazak, thank you so much. Dr. Ahmed, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate
Thank you too.
Yes.
Thank you so much as well. And if you need any clarifications, any updates in Somaliland countries, if you need any policies, let me know. I will share you instantly.
Yeah. Yes, very well. Thank
Yeah.
you so much. So, and thank you, Abdirazak. I really appreciate. Until next week, I'm gonna communicate on the other program. Until next week, please have yourself a lovely, lovely evening and a lovely weekend.